A lazy mind is a devil's workshop. A very old proverb. Powerful, very powerful, yet simple and precise. Let us explore it a bit more. A very popular poet, W.H. Davis, in his poem Leisure, celebrates the importance of relaxation and calmness in life. Here goes those lines. What is this life, if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare? What is this life, if full of care, we have no time to stand and stare? No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. No time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows. But that doesn't mean one should get lethargic and lazy and get stuck somewhere in the journey of life. Relaxation is a significant matter. Stopping to stare and watch like sheep or cows is also equally important. But the trouble arises when we really come to that habit of resting and retiring before getting tired. That habit of excessive resting is specially soaked and filled with that negative quality called laziness. There are thousands of people walking on earth, sitting on earth, who do not engage themselves productively, who do not energize themselves positively. We all know the fact that unemployment is a social evil, as it brings poverty and suffering on earth. But being disengaged on account of financial complacency and deep-rooted lethargy is a greater evil, as it brings around calamities untold and innumerable sufferings to oneself and to the people around. But how? How can that be? Our mind cannot be anything other than a reservoir or a storehouse of thoughts or feelings or emotions. It is like a well. You cannot dry it out completely. You cannot empty it completely. Like water getting collected in a well, something or other, some sensation or other thoughts will have to fill it. It has to fill it. The more we try to motor it out, the more water will fill the well. It's a fact. The problem with the human mind is this. The mind not only stores, but also records these sensations and experiences without any hesitation. Whatever comes in its way, the mind accepts. Unlike mirrors have a special quality. We all know mirrors reflect. They reflect upon. But human mind is not like a mirror. It is more like a sponge. Unlike mirrors, our minds absorb things and events that appears before it. A wise person or a wise mind is like a good mirror. He may reflect and show things and people as they are, but without much of an attachment. When these things move away from the mirror, the reflections too will disappear. But more than 95% of human minds absorb rather than reflect or reject incidents and situations that comes before it. The remaining 5% only may act wise. So when there is no traffic of activities happening in a lazy mind, it starts storing and recording and accumulating all that happens around and disproportionately projects things and represents things and people more than as they are not than as they are. Some distortion happens, both in perception as well as in representation. Of course, the projections happen within the mind itself to damage its own integrity. The net result is truth will be mercilessly crucified. Negative thoughts and sensations are really dangerous to the person who harbors it. It is even dangerous to all the people around him, because these negative energies have to be watered out on someone or something. Bucket breaking within the toilet. We know the story. Bucket breaking within the toilet in our privacy is not always possible or not always preferred. And this also explains the escalation of violence and crimes in our society. Have we done anything in this direction? Have we done anything other than the soulless counseling by family, friends, or church sermons? A question to be answered with a higher sense of seriousness. It's an important question that should be addressed immediately. Very often, lazy and inactive mind concocts and distorts things and realities, and it starts cooking up stories. After absorption, what happens next is cooking up stories, working of imagination. Maybe sometimes of a classic kind or design. The stories may be of a classic kind and a very sophisticated design. The lazy mind starts imagining things and situations which really do not exist. And then such a mind enters into the jungle of confusions. Which is real, which is not real? Because one side the mind powerfully projects things, the other side the realities recede. The realities recede away from it because the power, the waves of imagination, yes, this confusion is bound to happen. Very often the lazy mind and inactive mind concords and distorts things. Tell a lie 1,000 times, it becomes truth. Hitler made this statement. You can tell a lie many times to yourself or to others, it becomes truth. Though an idiot, he said the truth about lies. It's true with the human mind. Human mind is very cunning. So cunning, it can cover itself with such a short blanket. Cunningness can be compared to a short blanket. Now what's the problem with a short blanket? The moment we try to cover our head with a short blanket, we will expose our feet. That means others can easily see through the tricks played by a cunning mind. They will know where we stand. They will know where our feet are. Those frivolous and disconnected and illogical conclusions made by a lazy brain are too hazardous to be guarded. I am reminded of suicide bombers. So stupid. Who can help? When illogic is presented logically within the mind, the presenter slips naturally into the cloud of circumlocution and confusion. His logic will defeat himself. Then the next chapter is that of a sense of defeat. That sense of defeat will lead to frustration and its consequence, revenge, vengeance, conflicts. Aggression, violence, and conflicts are the net results, the end results. Is this the work of a devil? It looks like, though we do not know whether the devils exist or not. Now, in addition to the proverb, not only a lazy mind, but also a prejudiced mind is a devil's workshop. You can see much welding and spark and sparkling and dark glasses used within this workshop, together with some foul and toxic smell. Of course, in this case, the mind is not lazy at all. It is too preoccupied and too narrowly focused to see the higher realities. Or it sees things so closely and avoids a wider perception. It's too short-sighted to see what is in the distance or in the long run. These are extremes. Let us avoid extremes at any cost. Let us make our minds a healthy venue for good performances. Let it be a soothing environment, like a green park, for example. We are like green parks with comfortable benches to sit and chat. If there is a champak tree nearby, what an experience it is. If the atmosphere is good enough and fragrant enough, no other place is as good as a park. So relaxed and stress-free. So enticing. Just imagine an evening park when the sunlight and the golden rays of sunset are touching it, with fragrant trees around us, flowers dancing, the kids playing in the distance. You can just easily imagine such a beautiful park if you had some experience like that. So let us create the minds exactly like a green park. If you keep such a park ready, sure, and with a champak tree nearby, visitations will happen. Visitations will naturally happen. Those higher people and their conversations will definitely happen there. Even those who left the earth, those old chaps will also share their wisdom there. So let us breathe in positive thoughts and energies and make our workshop a creative one. divine.